What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Intensive Treatment, where we talk about all things Arkham. I'm joined by Marvel DC fan. As always, we're here to talk about some of our favorite video games, that being Batman Arkham, and on a specific console. So we've talked about Arkham on Xbox. Now we're going to talk about it on Xbox's not so nice cousin, the PlayStation 3. This is
Yes.
going to be an interesting video for me because I never owned a PlayStation 3 and I've never played an Arkham game on a PlayStation 3,
You
but
have
you
not.
have.
I have. Yeah, I have. I do have a PlayStation 3, and I played all the Arkham games on there.
Even Knight, and he blew it up. He blew
Yeah,
his house up because he
yeah.
put
I
it in
found
there.
a dev kit, and it had a PS3 version of Night, just the beginning, and it blew up my entire house. So
I'll
I'm
insert the
recording this
clip
on
from
the
the
street.
news. From the Canadian news, I have the clip.
So we're gonna go through each of the games. I'm gonna tell you a little bit how they run and sort of deal, and also some of the exclusive content that
And there
comes
is a
with
bit of
them.
it.
There is a little bit of it. So let's start off with Batman Arkham Asylum. The GOAT!
How
Anyway,
was this game for you? Well, okay, backtrack for a second. Did you first initially play Asylum on Xbox or PlayStation?
I played it on Xbox. I was an Xbox kid.
I knew this, but I wanted the people to know that.
Yeah, nobody I knew had a PlayStation 3
Okay,
growing
yeah,
up.
me neither. Except
Uh,
one person.
when I was 13, my sister bought a PlayStation 3, and she had it. Like she was playing Last of Us and Tomb Raider and stuff like that. And I was like, "Hey, maybe you should play Batman." She's like, "No," but
Oh, what a Debbie
no,
Downer.
no, I'm kidding. It's just I did give her the Arkham games at one point. I had all three of them. I was gonna buy a PlayStation for myself, and then I was like, "Oh shit, her birthday's coming up. What am I gonna get her?" I'll just
You're
give
a
her the
good
Batman
brother.
games.
You're a good brother.
So yeah, I didn't get a PlayStation 3 till 2021, something like that.
Wow.
And yeah, and then I finally got to play the games for myself, and yeah, it runs okay. I don't think it runs as good as the Xbox version though.
Mm,
So that is one thing to consider. Also a weird thing too is that, like, unlike the Xbox version where you put the disc in, play the game as normal, you put the disc in the PS3 and it has to, like, download some stuff first. So you're literally just staring at a screen of just concept art of, like, Batman, Joker, Quincy, for whatever reason, Gordon's there. So you're just waiting for this thing to download before you can actually play the game. I remember being so confused by this when I first played Asylum on PlayStation 3.
mhm.
Um, like, I'm just watching these screens come up, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is the point of all this?" It's
Yeah.
like, what is even downloading into the game? And I
What
had the
the?
Game of the Year edition disc too, so
Uh-huh.
so all my PS3 copies are all Game of the Year editions, except for Origins because that game is fucking bad and it didn't get a Game of the Year edition in the US. But anyway, uh, so playing Asylum the first time, for the most part, it was okay. There was some stuttering here and there throughout it. There was one point where, after you leave the sewers for the first time, it's like, yeah, it's not safe to use the route, but you leave there for the first time. My game was like running at like 15 frames per second trying to take down the
No.
snipers. And the music was playing all too normal, so I'm slowly walking over the ledge, and all I hear is "dun-dun-dun-dun." It was funny.
Dude,
Um,
no.
yeah.
That's horrible.
Oh yeah. I did a couple more playthroughs after that. And I was like, can that happen again? I was like, I want to show it off. It never happened again. It was just the one time. That was the only real time I ran into anything like major as far as like bugs or
Mhm.
whatnot. So it was a funny experience, but um, something that something I wish I could replicate again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Asylum runs fine. As mentioned before, there is some exclusive content, which is the Joker. we've already talked about the Joker
We
before
have.
on multiple occasions, so we're not really going to get into that. Let's talk about Arkham City now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please. No.
So, I want to say, because I haven't put as much time into City on PlayStation 3 as I did for Asylum. It ran just about the same as Asylum on PlayStation 3. It ran okay.
Hmm.
It wasn't perfect, but it was manageable. Didn't run into like any big frame drops or bugs or anything like that. So, for the most part, I want to say it's fine. There is no, as far as content goes, there is no PlayStation exclusive stuff for Arkham City, which I always found
Yeah.
weird.
Me too.
Because every other game got something related
Hey, they
to
did the
PlayStation.
right thing.
Yeah, they were just like, you know what? No, we're not going to do any PlayStation exclusive content. We're just going to have all our pre-order content at like 7 different stores and whatnot. And you got to pre-order all of them to get it. I hated that. It
Yeah,
was
it's
just like,
horrible.
yeah, it was like go to this place for like a collector's edition to get like the Dark Knight Returns out. It was all the weirdest picks
I
too. Like
know.
you pre-order from Best Buy and you get like Robin and like Earth One or something. It was strange. Have we done that video? The history of pre? We'll get to it later
Well,
if
I
we haven't already.
think we did.
I'll have
I
to look
think
on
we
this.
did.
I'll have to look on the channel later. But if we haven't, that is a fun discussion for later. So yeah, Arkham City runs fine. And now we get to Arkham Origins.
Oh boy.
I couldn't get this game to work on PlayStation
Wow.
3. So I had a copy, which I bought from my now defunct local game store. And then I got my PlayStation 3 from my Facebook buy and sell. And when I got home, I tried all the games, Asylum, City, they all worked fine. And then when I tried Origins, for some reason, like I I put the disc in, I played the opening with, the Blackgate escape, and then I just can't get it to work
Hmm.
for whatever reason. Um, I did buy another disc for Origins on PlayStation 3 recently. I haven't tested it out, but I'm hoping that I don't run into the same issues. If I do, I'm going to destroy my PlayStation 3. But uh yeah, I'd imagine it runs about as fine as every other console, which by that I mean it runs really weirdly.
Hmm.
Probably has a lot of bugs and whatnot. So
Look,
I
Arkham
remember
Origins is just
it's
horrific
just,
on
yeah,
everything.
that's true.
Just can't run.
It is a nightmare.
It can't even walk.
No,
But sorry, go ahead. I cut you
it
off.
could barely crawl, but so I imagine it's about the same on everything else. And just like with Asylum, there is some exclusive content, which is the last game to get PlayStation exclusive. Well, the last game on the PlayStation 3 to get exclusive. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. So there were 2 skins. One of them was the Nightfall skin, the Jean Paul Valley, the blue outfit, not the red one,
Yes.
and the 60s Adam West Batman, the one that danced.
Yeah.
There are also some challenge maps. I don't remember all of them by heart. There's a couple of them which I remember, which one of them was like the GCPD area from Arkham City repurposed. It was like Bane's
Okay.
hideout. That was one of them. I think one of them might have been like on the bridge where you fight Firefly or something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
But yeah, nothing really too interesting.
Yeah.
But those skins though,
Well, there's a lot to say.
they're cool. One of them is.
One of them.
I
The
do like
others,
I do like the 60s Batman and Origins.
I like it, but it's very da. It's like very like,
It is
but
weird looking at just like this young Batman who's like overly pissed off all the time, wearing such
and
a
buff as hell.
goofy, ridiculous outfit.
But hey, it's cool. At least they have it in there.
Yeah,
And I'm also there's no hate on the suit. I love the Adam West suit. It just sometimes it looks weird, especially in the Arkham games. Arkham Knight looks, Lord help it,
Arkham Knight looks bad.
atrocious.
It looks awful.
Check out our suit tier list.
Oh man, F tier all the way.
Yeah, literally. Oh my gosh, so F tier. But yeah, so those are I think those are the only exclusive though. There's a couple maps which I can't name off the top of my head, and then there's those two suits.
Yeah,
So not much. But in terms of exclusive stuff, Asylum didn't get a lot, and neither did this game.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's
should we?
just like it was so weird back then as an Xbox player because you see these like watching the trailer for the Joker, being able to play as the Joker, and at the very end, it's Mark Hamill being like, "Oh, you got to buy PS3 to play me." So it's just like,
Yeah.
what? Huh?
Not
Um,
anymore.
Not anymore. So there's one more game on the PlayStation 3, and I want you to take a guess on what that game is.
Bastard.
Come on,
Blackgate?
Blackgate.
Yeah.
The deluxe edition of Blackgate, to be specific.
Was there PlayStation exclusives on the deluxe edition?
There was not. As far as I remember, there wasn't.
Okay, I was just curious.
I think if you played the game on the Vita, which I guess we'll talk about a little bit too in
Mhm.
conjunction, because Blackgate was first a Vita title, Vita and
Yes.
3DS, and then it got a deluxe edition. I want to say a year later or a few months later, at least.
Yeah.
Because Blackgate and Origins came out in October 2013. So,
Mhm.
yeah, about April 2014. So a few months. So a few
Yeah.
months later, they were just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put Blackgate on a console." Um, I'm trying to think if Black, I was about to call it Arkham Vita. Um, if Blackgate had any, I think the only thing if you played it on the Vita, and if you had a save file from Origins, the main game, you could
Right.
unlock the Beware the Batman skin. That's the only one I remember.
Okay.
That's the only constitute for like PlayStation exclusive content, which isn't nothing really. But
Yeah.
what a weird skin to make that because I don't think that
It
skin's
is.
in the I don't think that costume's in the 3DS version, or I must be mistaken. But
Yeah.
it's so weird. It's just like, you know what? Only Vita players are gonna get the Beware the Batman skin.
I know, so weird. What a
It
weird
is,
choice.
yeah. I don't get it either. But so just talking about the Vita version real quick. I think if you're gonna play the original Blackgate, the Vita is the way to go.
Mhm.
Um, like it feels much better playing it on a Vita than it does a 3DS. You have to use the touchscreen to do the detective mode stuff, which is kind of a buzzkill, but it's whatever. It looks much better than it does on 3DS. 3DS, it's like everybody looks like fucking zombies walking around. Horrible. But
Yeah. We're not gonna
another
talk about that.
where yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
we already talked about Blackgate on 3DS, or I
We
think we
just
did.
don't need to we just don't need to relive through hell.
um Another thing about the Vita version, which is kind of cool and a little tidbit for those out there, is that you can play it on a PlayStation TV, which is basically it's a Vita with an HDMI device. You can plug in, like you can hook it up to your TV, whatever. And it
That's
actually runs,
crazy.
it is pretty cool. I do want to show it off at some point for like a stream or whatnot. Um,
That's
whenever
pretty cool.
whenever we get to it. But um yeah, the only thing is that, like, there are like, the thing about the PlayStation TV, which is kinda weird, is that they had certain blacklisted games because you need the Vita's gyroscope and the touchscreen and whatnot to do certain actions.
Mhm.
Um, I don't Blackgate is not on that list, but uh, you need to have a certain way of doing the touchscreen on a controller, which sounds weird, But if you have like a PlayStation 4 or 5 controller, I think it should work just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I will show that off on stream at some point. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But and then talking about Blackgate on PS3, it's fine. It runs about as good as it does on Xbox and Wii U and stuff. So doesn't have any exclusive features or whatnot. It's just the same game on all three of them and
Yeah.
PC. But so let's move on to the PlayStation 4.
Oh boy. The big boy. The big boy.
The big boy. Obviously Arkham Knight. I hate that game.
Yeah. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy.
So you technically played the PlayStation 4 version on a PlayStation 5.
Yes.
You never had a PlayStation 4 before, did you?
No, I didn't.
No, okay. So yeah, I think between if you played on PlayStation 4, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It runs fine. Um or I guess in some other cases it runs great for 30 frames. It works. You say it runs better on PlayStation 5. I don't think it does. That's just me.
Maybe it's just it feels smoother because it like looks smoother. I
Yeah.
don't know. Could just be, you know, my subconscious being like, yeah, this should look better because it's a PS5, so it does look better.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 better, right?
But for all I know, there might not be anything going on with it at all.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
just for me personally, I haven't noticed any big like hurdles or jumps or whatnot. So and I pay too much attention to shit like this for Batman. So
yeah,
but yeah, from what I've seen, it's pretty much the same game on both, which is fine. Um, just like with the other consoles, this got some exclusive stuff, some exclusive content. Adam West
good.
again, which I don't know why. Justice League 3000, which is kind of cool. And
That
then
is cool. I like that suit.
you have the Scarecrow racetracks,
Yes,
which
they're
everybody forgot about.
yeah, they're whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just left the voice
He
chat
did. He left our voice chat, but he's
because I
back.
hit general and I meant to hit
How
general.
dare you?
I'm so sorry.
That was so real too. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, so the racetracks are like whatever. Some of them are pretty hard to get
Yeah, they
through,
are.
but there's one where it's just like like it reminds me of Arkham Asylum a lot, where you're just fighting this giant scarecrow hovering
Mhm.
above you. So that's kind of cool, but it's so weird to like gatekeep that on a single console.
And to gatekeep it and relegate it to a Batmobile and not to Batman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There's a '60s skin for the tank mobile
There
that
is.
you can get too.
I actually really love using it too.
I do too,
It's like
surprisingly enough.
subtle. It's so subtle, but it makes a huge difference.
I think that just added a little bit of color, like that added a little bit of red really like goes a long way for
Yeah,
it.
I agree. Totally.
So you can use it with your '60s Batman, or like I do, I just use it with Batman Beyond, but that's just me.
I
Um,
think it looks the best with that suit. Or
yeah,
Flashpoint, it looks good.
Flashpoint, yeah.
Could also use it with Pattinson.
You could use it with Pattinson. I mean, he's basically a modern day '60s Batman, but super edgy.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, Night was it was so interesting looking back on Arkham Knight and PlayStation specifically because not only was it a system seller, as it would be, um, it got an exclusive PlayStation console, which
It
I don't
did.
think any of the prior Arkham games had.
No.
Uh, might have gotten bundles, but they made a specific decal just for Arkham Knight alone, which looks great. I love it. Um, I wish I had it as a kid, but
I wish I had it generally.
yeah, me too. Um, yeah, it's just it's kind of cool, and it's that sort of deal. Um, But anyway, there is 2 more games to talk about.
Yes, there is.
Do you want to guess which one I'm going to talk about next?
VR?
VR.
Yeah.
So this was released October 2016. It was a launch PlayStation VR title, and we can't really speak on this because neither of us have actually used a PlayStation VR.
No.
No. I have one. I just need a cable replaced, and otherwise I'm good.
I have one, but I've never played it.
I tried. Yeah, it's just I went into it in a whole other video. We don't need to. Anyway, return to Arkham. So even on a
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5, Asylum runs really bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And City too. City on like PS4 is just it's not good.
No, it's not.
Even on even on a PS4 Pro, which I own, it doesn't run all that smooth, and it just is bad on every level.
Yeah.
One cool thing about Asylum, or I guess this extends to the Xbox consoles as well, is that all the PlayStation 3 exclusive content is on Xbox now.
It is.
So you don't necessarily need a PlayStation 3 in order to play as the Joker anymore. Um, you could just play it on your Xbox, or some people manage to get it on PC now. So you can go pretty much any direction you want to now. But
Well,
uh,
I was gonna say, for anybody that bought a PlayStation 3 for the exclusives, you really wasted your money, guys.
yeah,
'Cause 2016 comes around, you can do whatever you want.
it just completely negates anything you did.
Yeah. Good job for being an idiot.
How dare you? How dare you? But yeah, so I think on PlayStation 5 for Return to Arkham, there's 2 different stories to tell because um you can play Arkham City at 60 FPS, but you have to cross a lot of hurdles in order to do that.
Yeah.
You need
You wanna
not only a disc version of the game, but you also need to install it offline, and you need to delete the update file. So once you do that, 60 FPS Arkham.
That's,
And
like, a lot of shit.
yeah, that is. It's a lot of hurdles, but it's so worth it. It
I'm
looks
sure. I
great.
wish I could do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he has his brother has a digital PS5, which I still don't understand why. I never got it. It's just like it's like you could have had one with a disc to play movies and whatnot, and he's just like, no, I'm just gonna buy a digital one. Fuck everybody else. I love Elijah though, but
Okay. Stop the cap. Start the yap.
I don't think I'm missing anything else. We
I
could
don't
talk
think
about
so.
Suicide Squad on PlayStation 5, but fuck
Let's
that.
we can just glaze over it for a sec if you want. It exists.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
everything. That's all. Thanks for listening. Do we want it to exist? No. Does it? Yeah.
It runs smooth, I guess.
Yeah, it does actually. That's true. It does run smooth. It looks
And
good. I think it's a good looking game.
it is a good looking game. Is it as good as Arkham Knight? Probably not,
No,
but
it's not.
um there's haptic feedback in the controller, so when you actually pull the trigger, there's some resistance. That's kind of
It's
neat.
pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's it's a it's a thing.
But
That's all
that's it, guys.
that is it for this episode of Intensive Treatment. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did you have a PlayStation 3 growing up? Were you that sad sack who had a PlayStation 3 and
That's sad
everybody else
sack.
had an Xbox? No, I'm kidding. You're not
No,
sad.
you're right. No, you're right.
Let us know, and let us know if we missed anything to talk about with this topic. We will see you guys for the next podcast episode. Also, be sure to check out our ITTVs, our live streams, and our penitentiary playthroughs of our Arkham games. But yeah, until then, have a great night. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and stay locked up as usual.
Bye, guys.